All right, and we are live. Oh, let me see. Gotta mute myself. Okay. Hi, guys. So this is my first of many series. Well, first video in a series that's going to lead up to Hasura. And I always wanted to learn Hasura. I don't know if I'm butchering the name, but the whole idea of Hasura is to be able to create APIs quickly. So how much better to learn a new technology than to implement an application? And since we have something like Todo App that can help simplify that process, that's what I'm going to do. So switch over to my desktop. Let's see here. Just make sure yep. So I am going to use the very famous To-Do app. And I'm going to use that as a base for all this. First, I'm going to look at this example at whoever wrote this. It seems like, what's his name? Jacob eBay? Maybe he helped a lot. He was a contributor. I don't know who the original contributor was for this, but anyways, I'm going to use this as a base. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to go ahead and clone this. Switch over to, don't worry about that. That's just some scratch file that I created. So I want to clone this. And what do we have here? Oh, I have to clone the whole repo. Okay, that's fine. I'll go to clone. Oh, interesting. So I'm not logged in. Okay. So I'm gonna log in here. Oh boy. So I'm gonna go put in this code. Maybe I should switch my screen for security purposes. Let me switch over here. Ta-da! Okay. What do we got here? 6-digit two-factor code. Yeah, we want GitHub. So let's see if it took that. Oh, okay, took that. Okay. Back to the desktop. All right. So now I should have, yes, this is the URL I want. So I'm going to copy this. I don't know if that pasted it or copied it to the clipboard. Let's see. Okay, yes. And we're going to clone that repo. Git clone. Oh, wait. Well, I could call it source. So git clone source. Maybe? We'll see. That's literally cloning every single example. View, I think it has some other mithril. So it's pretty big. The one that I want is not, I don't want all those. I just want to look at the React hooks example. So let's have a look at that over here. And I've dabbled with the React hooks. I actually did a project on it, but I wouldn't say I'm a pro at it. I'm comfortable enough to understand and use it. Okay, so here we are with React hooks. So I'm going to bring up the README first to see how to bring this up. It says npm dev. Okay, so I'll probably have to run npm install to install the packages first. So we're going to do that. So there's the package, the JSON, npm install that. That should install React. Okay. So while that's installing, I'll check what else is here. Run build npm start serves a production build. I don't care about that for now. I just want dev mode. Okay. So we're gonna run dev mode once this is done. Interesting. Where is my camera? I'm supposed to be here. No. Wrong. Where is the camera? There I am. Okay. Yep. Alright, so, ooh. Yeah, kind of hard to see. So I'm going to move myself up to the right a bit. And you can see what I'm typing in the terminal. Okay. So that installed. Now I'm going to npm dev, and that should run, npm run dev. I'm assuming. Yes. I should see something about localhost 3000. Oops. Let's get that out. So we're gonna maybe still compiling. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, well, there it goes. So now we have our to-dos. Now I want to see the actual code behind it. I'm wondering if this example has JavaScript source maps, because if it does, then I can see the original sources in the debugger. But I'm assuming that I don't know if they're using ES6. It seems like they are. Yeah. So technically I should be able to see this ES6, like the import and whatever. So let's see if that's true. Since I cranked up the oh, never mind. I was gonna say that the font size in Chrome messed this up for me, but it seems like it didn't. Okay, if source maps were working, then I would assume to see the same folder structure of source, app, components, containers in this window here. But it seems like it's not for this particular example. Yeah, this is the compiled version of the JavaScript. Oof. Not easy to read. So I want to see here if this is something straightforward enough where I can generate the source files for this. It's a lot easier to debug something in the browser when you see the original source code, except instead of the ultimate end result, which is a compiled JavaScript, so that it's like browser compatible. It's not that easy to debug that type of code. So I'd rather have the actual original source files or source code inside of Chrome. So I'm going to see my trusty Google and see if I can find any information about creating source maps. So we're looking here, I'm looking at the start script, dev React scripts. So I'm probably going to see if React scripts can generate source maps for me. React source. Let's see. How to generate source maps. Okay. Stack Overflow is pretty good at giving you information. Source maps are generated by default in production mode. However, you can disable this behavior. Generate source maps that equals false in your env file? What? So supposedly it should be generating the source maps. I don't know because I'm not seeing them, so let's see. Let's see if it's as simple as doing this. So dev generate source map true. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna bring this down. Run that again. Let's see if that did anything. Okay, look down here. Static.js. No. So I usually go for the lowest hanging fruit, which would be a Stack Overflow answer. If I'm trying to figure something out, right? Let's see here. Okay, maybe I have to, there's a webpack or something. Maybe. Okay, this is specific to Webpack. Wow, this is interesting. What if I do build? What does build do? Build. Well, you know, it would be interesting that I do build, which does a production build, and then I serve the production build, and then it'll show the source maps, which would be kind of strange. Like I would rather have the source maps in development mode. So I'm running the build. Okay, I ran the build. Then I'm going to start. Interesting that it runs on a different port. Maybe because it's made for production. Wow, that's taking a while to load. Could there be an error being thrown? And there you go. Why would there be an error thrown? Unexpected token. Why is it serving HTML for a JavaScript file? That's strange. Let's try the build again. Okay, so back to Google. Why is it serving HTML? So apparently I'm guessing there is no okay. Does it have Babel? So I'm assuming I need to add Babel here. Let's see if it installed Babel. Oh, look at Babel there. Okay. React. I don't know if stage 2 is here. Let's see, stage 2. Stage 2. Well, that doesn't really help. But let me see if I add this to package.json. It'll make a difference. Okay. Kill this. Build. And so this is just a normal day as a developer. And this is interesting because even if you've been doing development as long as I have. I started back in like 2006, so what? 14 years? Yeah. 14 years. I needed to add that in my head. And you have these problems. Some of the newcomers, they come in and think that senior developers know everything. No, it's not true. It's probably we have a better idea what to look for. And I think I read that in somebody else's tweet. We have a better idea what to look for. But we still use Google. We use Stack Overflow. We have to use our developer tools to see what's going on. And wow, this one's a tough one. So let me see if I need to add on. Maybe I need to install this. Babel RC. Okay. So they say to add this Babel RC file. You know, I'm gonna give it a shot. See, oops, that's not exactly what I wanted to write, but I'm gonna put the presets in there. See if that did anything. And take this out here. Seems like Babel is installed. Okay. Let's give that a shot. Run the build. I'm wondering if I run start, it already does the build. It has this build in there, but I don't know if that actually does that. Come on, show me something better. Nope. Okay, so I'm wondering if it's something to do with the JSX. So first, where is it complaining? See, this is throwing me off. Why is it serving HTML, which doesn't make sense? This should just be JavaScript. That's the crux of the problem right there. Why is that serving HTML? So far, that doesn't make sense. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna look back at, let's see. Where's the HTML for this? Maybe in public? Oh, okay. What do I see here? Okay. Where's the JavaScript? Da, 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 da. So I'm looking at the HTML here and I'm trying to find where does it actually inject the JavaScript. The only clue that I have here, this is this could be doing some clever post-processing with React scripts. So I am going to see if that's likely the case. Okay, so here I want to see where does it actually inject the scripts. Okay, so it's at the bottom. All right. And what does head, excuse me, what does head include here? Okay, this is from my DevTools, so I can forego that. So right here, I am thinking that possibly React scripts is doing something special here, where it looks like right before the body tag and injects these scripts. See, if I went directly to this file, what would happen? See, this is what I'm expecting to see. Pure JavaScript, no HTML at all. But in the production build, this is what I'm seeing. Just throws me off. It shouldn't be like this. Okay. So let me see if I could find React scripts, JavaScript, returns, HTML. Maybe that. So this one didn't give me much information. Well, that's interesting. What if it's doing server-side rendering? Let's see. Okay. So, what is this? So I'm gonna do here, actually, you know what? Bin, is it bin? Oh, whatever serve is, okay. Serve, okay. npm serve. I'm gonna check out this serve package and see what the S flag is. Okay. Check out here, npm okay, node modules. Oops, don't want to drag that. Nope. It's oh, okay, this dot bin. And then dot bin has the serve. Okay, yes. So we're gonna do node modules dot bin serve help. All right. So what is S? Rewrite all not found requests to index HTML. I wonder if that has to do with it. And then hooks to do. You know, that sounds like it's it. Static file serving and directory listing. By default, serve will list on 5000 and serve the current working directory on that address. Oh, you know what? Okay, it serves the build folder. Okay, now I understand why that's here. All right. So let's look at the build folder. Serves a build folder. Okay. And then it serves all those. Fine. Okay, one more time. So, where am I? Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. Yes. So I will build. And then run. But you know what? I'm going to take this S option out. I don't want to do any rewriting. I want to see if that has to do with the issue that I'm having. And I'm going to add the D for debug. Okay. That's S. Okay, start. Oops. I'm gonna move over to the terminal. All right. Now what do I see? There's problem number 1. That makes sense now. Okay. So it is trying to point to a URL that doesn't exist. All right. Why is it doing /hooks to do? That's step number 2. Okay. So it's messing up this, because if I'm not mistaken, if that's the problem, I can change the... Oops, I don't know if it saved all of it. Okay, it did. Okay. Obviously, I got a 404 here. But if I remove this part of the path, oops, hooks to do part, and there goes my actual file. Okay, so I need to understand where is that hooks to do coming from. My first thing will be to check where that path is coming from. So I'm gonna search for hooks to do inside of this directory, and I probably want to ignore the node modules folder. How can I do that? I think I need to do something special. Oh, I need to do scope, maybe? Okay. Scopes. Add scope. Exclude node modules. And then I'm gonna go in here and look for React hooks, and I'm going to... Interesting, it seems like it's already excluding that. Okay, then maybe I just want to use this as a include recursively here. Okay, it seems like it already excludes node modules, so I'm going to call this React hooks. Apply. Okay, so it's not looking in the node modules. Good. All right, hooks to do. So now where is it getting that hooks to do? Oh, I see something about a service worker with this hooks to do and hooks to do static on all this. Service worker asset manifest. Yeah, that would be a problem. So maybe this is where that is at. Pre-cache route. This must be coming from somewhere else. Maybe if I look at the service worker here. .env public URL. Window location. Process public URL. Where is that env coming from? This could be part of the problem. So I'm trying to figure that out. Have to take a quick break and I'll be right back. All right, so I think this has something to do with it. I don't know too much about service workers, but I know that service workers cache static resources. So I'm wondering if it's like trying to cache it under the wrong path or something. I don't know. What if I did something like this? And if this is a problem, then I could technically console log this sucker. see what happens. So I'm gonna do that. I probably need to build it first, okay? So I'm gonna run build and then npm run start, is it? Start. Oops. Okay, now let's see. Did I get any interesting output? The only difference between dev and this, dev and serve, is that serve is using a package. I wonder. So this is all raw and unfiltered. The reason why I do these streams is just to show you the reality of the day-to-day. And I've talked about it in my last stream. I don't know everything, but there's a process in my mind that I always have to find the answer that I need to find. And that's what I'm hoping that I can illustrate in these streams. So I'm working backwards, basically. And I know the biggest problem here is that I have this hooks to do portion of the string that's prepended to the rest of the path. And that's what's causing this error. The only thing that would make me think that could change that could possibly be that serve is picking up the name that's in package here and then adding the rest. So I'm gonna look more at the documentation for this serve package here. But then also I need to look at the index.html file, see if it's being, there's something interesting where it's actually, okay, that's a problem. Okay, so the problem is right here. Yeah, I'm assuming React script is adding this in there for some reason. Yes, that is the problem for sure. Okay, so working backwards, React scripts build. Look at React scripts build. Build. Production build, okay. Static file caching, profiling. You know what, but I want to find the original file, okay? So I have this build, right? I want the original HTML file. Okay, so that's... I wonder if here I have control over what's injected into the URL. Interesting. Hooks to do. Okay. Nope. I'm gonna click on whatever. No, it can't find that. Index.html. Well, that's generated by the build. So I'm looking more for a configuration value. No, build the URL maybe. What's this home page? Let's see what this is. Ah, what if this has something to do with it? Let's change that. I'd be surprised if this makes a difference. And if it does, this is a moment for joy. So I'm gonna refresh. Oh my god. Wow. Welcome to a normal day of being a developer where you have to waste like a stupid amount of time on something very stupid. You saw how long that took me. You'll run into things like this. Wow. Just changing that made the difference. And that's the whole thing about having to understand um, all the like ins and outs of how a particular piece of technology works. And that's what happened here. I wasn't aware of um, it seems like there's this environment variable that's called public URL, and if that doesn't exist, it'll use the value in the homepage key of the package.json file. So it uses that to in the post processing process to create the URL. Once it builds the assets. If I hadn't known that, I wouldn't know what was going on. And had I been like who I was, newcomer back in my first few years, man, I would have spent probably days trying to figure that out. But that's the whole, once you start figuring out this whole political process, you start at where the problem is, and then you progressively work backwards. And that's how I figured out this issue. And then also using theories, right? I think it's this, I think it's that, I think it's that, and then you test or disprove that theory. So now I can get rid of all this. And there you go. Now I'm wondering if the sources were generated. Did generate the sources. See, I don't know why it's not generating the sources in dev mode. Because I want to see this. I want the actual original source code, but I don't want to keep building over and over and then restarting the app. I'd rather just run it as dev and that's it. Which is kind of bummer, but I'm having a hard time believing that it can't just create the source files correctly. I'm wondering if now it works because I changed that homepage key thing. Let's see. Nope. This is unbelievable. Really? Wow. How's that not working? React scripts. Yeah. So, I'm wondering if the actual binaries will give me clues. And I could just do this. Oops. No. Maybe I could do H. Really? React scripts. Or it doesn't have that? Oh. React scripts. It doesn't do anything? What if I do help? So there's no documentation for React scripts. What? Okay. React scripts. Start. And what I want to find is there anything that I can give to React scripts, whether in a configuration, file, value, or an argument to the command line, and it'll create the source maps for me. Because I think it's stupid that I need to generate a production build to get the source maps. I'm developing. I don't need to do that. So what do we got here? source map. Get source map, generate source map, webpack, process env. Add advanced configuration. Generate source map. When is it ignored? In development is ignored. Why would it be ignored in development? Generate source map. So it's ignored in development. That doesn't make any sense. So it's telling me it's ignored in development. So it should be generating it. So I'm going to do run dev. Okay, and I'm going to be wrapping up really soon. I will continue this later on. Incredible. Okay, so I'm going to say React script start not generating source maps. Or is it? Sometimes. Oh, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the production build. Then I'm going to check how it produces the source maps. Sometimes the source maps are included, I believe, in the actual file, or they'll be included as a separate file. So I'm going to check if that's the case. Static, JavaScript. Let's see how it's doing this. It's in the chunk. Oh, okay. Source maps, and then it's pointing the source mapping URL. Okay. Got it. So there's a separate source map file. I want to see if it's trying to generate that. All right, so that was under main chunk, I want to believe, which would technically put that on at the end. So it does not look like it adds the source file. Okay. So we're going to be wrapping this up for now, and then in a later stream we'll continue this. The whole topic would be, why in the world is in dev mode this not creating source maps? Does not make any sense for me. All right. Catch you guys later. Bye.